Anytime I'm waiting for Amber to let me into the Zoom that we use to record this podcast, I sit here with my little fist and I go, meeting host, let me in. Meeting host, let me in. Usually takes her a few seconds and then I stop. She would have had no way to know that, but I needed to tell her.
They should have audio. You should be able to listen to the waiting room, right? Like,
because people are saying the worst shit.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
being on hold.
Exactly. You're like, oh, nobody. It's in a private little bubble, but also public at the same time. Like you're talking to someone the way you do in a car. You're like in your own little space, but you're also yelling at everyone. And yeah, I think that you should be able to listen to that. Like you're in a club and you're checking to see how long the line is before you decide to let people in.
Yeah, I mean, I've had jobs before, like phone type jobs where I can hear what the other person is saying when they're on hold. Oh, sometimes really? You can. Sometimes it's just silent, but sometimes you can hear. And people say just the most horrid things because they don't think anyone can hear them. And the same in the car. You think no one can hear you, so you're just like cussing out the other drivers.
Sometimes you can't, though. Sometimes people don't remember they have their windows down.
Yep, I've been guilty of that. I've cussed up a storm on just about every hold I've ever been on.
I am a fairly patient person, and I don't get mad very often, but I have the worst road rage.
I've never seen it in action, which now I feel fortunate because I really don't like road rage.
It's bad. I definitely got it from my dad, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to be nicer to people. And it was so funny because my dad used to have the worst road rage, and I, as a child, was like, you know, what if they're on their way to the hospital? Maybe they're having circumstances that you haven't thought about, but you get caught up in it.
You get swept away in the moment. I get pedestrian rage, which is worse because it's so impotent. I'm on foot. It's not like I'm carrying a weapon. Yeah, I'm just sitting here like, again, with my little fists like,
I've definitely slapped a car before.
I've slapped a car. I've always had this fantasy where, you know how cars will like pull into the crosswalk and just kind of linger there when you're trying to cross. I always want to like open up their back door and walk through the back of the car and then back out. And I think they would never do it again if they just had that happen to them one time.
That's an amazing impulse. I think you should follow through with it. Except
you're gonna have that impulse too now. Everyone I tell about this, they're like, "Oh,
it's a very fun, invasive thought." I'm like, yeah, I would like to do that now. But what if you get like kidnapped?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you'd never know
who's gonna have
kind
what
of
reaction.
A person, right?
Yeah. I've had a guy like I like merged lanes with someone in a way they didn't like, and I got right out of the way right afterwards. It was just like I was going around something and then had to get back into the other lane. And this guy held a grudge and followed me and then like pulled up next to me at another stoplight and opened his car door into my car. Like he just like slammed his door into my car, into the van, into Bertha. And I'm like, you just did way more damage to your car than to mine. Then he like sped off after that. That was about all he did. He opened his doors like, Rah! And then just was like, boop.
Well, good thing he left. Jesus, it's so scary when they hold a little road grudge.
Don't do that. Don't chase after cars.
Don't chase a guy. Like, just assume that whatever fuck up they just committed was a one-off and you'll never have to see them again.
And also, aren't you upset about like being cut off or like merge or someone like cutting in front of you because you're in a hurry to get somewhere?
Oh, they lose sight of that mission right away, though. Some people, they're just like, I was in a hurry, and now I'm in a hurry to make your day terrible. That's all I'm in a hurry to do.
I have so much time all of a sudden. Yeah, well, you look beautiful today.
Thank you.
Yes, I really like this garment that you're wearing. So it's like a shirt, but almost like a blazer in a way, too.
Yeah, it's one half of a suit. I'm not wearing the bottom half.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's like my little suit jacket. I look like I'm a waiter at like a dinner theater.
Oh, very nice. Oh, you should. If your choker was a bow tie, then it would be.
Yeah, I'd be like double waiter. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also wearing sparkles, but it's hard to see. But yeah,
I'm
wearing a sparkly dress.
Wow. You're very sparkly. I like it.
Yeah, I almost wasn't able to wear this dress because I thrifted a dress yesterday and I tried to put it on again today, and I did. I successfully put it on, but then I couldn't take it off.
Yeah.
The thing about thrifting. Sometimes like zippers have like a little niche in them, and then
Oh God, that's the worst. It's the scariest moment when you're like, am I gonna be able to remove this garment ever, or am I just gonna die like this?
I was like, am I gonna have to cut myself out of this dress because I really like the dress, and
Yeah, it's really cute.
that would suck. But I didn't have to cut it. I didn't have to cut it. I just like was able to like turn it around. It's very tight is the thing, and I was
Mm.
able to like turn it around and look at the zipper and then like work with pliers to like get it down. But I am gonna have to replace that zipper. But I put on a
Eh,
sparkly dress to be
to be
on
on
theme.
theme. Yeah,
Yes.
tight. Me too. With
Our
that in mind, should I launch into it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool. Welcome to Low Culture Boil, the trash podcast about trash culture. I am your host, Rax King.
And I'm your other host, Amber Rollo. And today we are talking about glitter.
Glitter! Oh, I'm just now realizing we could have incorporated the movie, the Mariah Carey
Oh
movie.
my God.
We're
I've never seen it.
fools. I
I've
haven't
never seen.
either.
Oh, well,
All right,
future
tabling that.
episode
Yeah,
note.
tabling that. But
Um,
yeah, we're here to talk about probably both of our favorite, like, fancy fabric, right? It's mine.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely my favorite fancy fabric. I mean, I wear it with everything. I
Yeah,
prefer it on like I love old vintage furniture that has like the glitter paint underneath like a
hmm
plastic thing.
me too.
Very into that. Oh my God, my dad's first, not my dad's first car, the first car that I remember as a kid was a minivan and it was candy apple red, which has like that shimmer to it. Love it.
Yeah, I love that. Like a diner bar
Yes.
stool. That
Yes,
kind of
exactly that.
love that. That's like the best color too. For
Me.
nails, for lips, for
Mm.
for diner bar stools, for like anything. It should all look like that.
Did you ever put like glitter on on top of your lip gloss and then like use that wear that as a not like a glitter lip gloss, but you just like put
Right.
like actual glitter on your
Yeah.
lips. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I used to have a like a little pot, like a lip balm pot, but full of
Mm-hmm.
glitter. And nothing on the pot indicated that it was edible in any way, but I used to put it on my lips. I used to put it on everything. I would like, oh God, this is so gross. I was like 16, and I would take Elmer's glue and use it to do my hair the way kids do, you know?
Oh my
And then I would
God.
put glitter in it while it was still tacky, and I looked like a disgustoid. I looked like the grossest little creature, but I thought I looked awesome.
Of course, I'm sure you did look awesome. I desperately wanted that glitter hairspray that they sold at Claire's. Um, I know
It
that my
didn't work.
parents. Oh, okay. Well, good to know. I
Yeah.
mean, I never actually got to try it. I just knew that it existed. I knew it was a big deal, and I really wanted it. And my parents were very, very, very lenient, but they didn't let me wear makeup. I mean, I was like 9, so fair.
Yeah, I ran into that restriction a couple times
My
as a
mom always
child.
told me to pinch my cheeks if I wanted rouge, and I specifically remember her saying the word rouge, which I was like, who uses that word?
Yeah, what the fuck is that about from start to finish? Like no one calls it rouge, but I feel like you do have to call it that if you're referring to the cheek pinching maneuver.
Hmm.
Also, I'm pretty sure they got that from Gone with the Wind. There's like one scene where that main bitch is doing exactly this in the mirror. They all wanted to be Scarlett O'Hara.
Oh my God. I actually have recently seen TikTok videos of girls doing this same thing. They're like, "Oh my God, did you know you can pinch your cheeks and then pinch your nose and then you're like you got like blush on." I'm like, "Yeah, this is nothing new."
Did you know you can buy blush and it's like
Yeah.
$5 at the drugstore and you don't have to assault your face?
Yeah, beauty doesn't have to be pain.
Mm-mm.
Um, although some glitter is painful, especially like glitter eyeshadows that
Yeah, it's like
accidentally fall in
sharp.
your eye. It's like glass and
Yeah.
plastic.
Yeah, when you think about like what glitter is, I mean, I feel like when you're a little girl, you don't have to think about it. You're just like, ooh, shiny.
Hmm.
But when you start putting it on in your makeup and whatnot, it has that grainy texture, and you're like, oh, I'm rubbing bits of glass on myself, or at the very least, bits of plastic made to look like bits of glass.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, it was like, so glitter has always meant glitter. It's always meant sparkly. I mean, the etymology of the word, it comes from the Middle English word glitterin, which meant flash or sparkle. And then possibly that came from the Old Norse word glittra, which also meant to shine or to sparkle. So it doesn't have like any other. I was wondering like if it came from something to mean like fish, because I don't know, when we
Oh,
talk about
sure.
wanting to sparkle, I always think about the way that fish shine and the way
Yeah,
that
yeah.
women are like fish in that way, that we want to like show off in the same way.
Yeah, fish
Um,
scales are kind of like the proto glitter, huh?
mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
guy Rainbow Fish, he knew what was up.
Oh yeah, that book ruled.
That
Also
was a
because it
great
was,
book.
also because it was sparkly.
Yeah, that was, I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, the message." No, it's a fucking sparkly book. Like,
We
let's
love that.
let's not lie to each other.
But so glitter is usually an assortment of small reflective particles. It was originally made from glass. It comes in a variety of shapes, sizes, colors. They reflect light in different angles, and that's where the shimmer comes from. It's like similar to confetti, to sparkles, but it's a little bit smaller, similar to like sequins, but a little smaller. Micro microparticles. And it's
Yeah,
generally, since prehistoric times, like we've had glitter. Did you know
yeah.
that? I didn't know
Yeah,
that
I
until
didn't,
researching
and
this.
I would have thought it was invented like in the past 100 years or so, but I mean, then you think about all the like shiny building materials that there are. Like we'll get to mica in a
Mm-hmm.
bit. That's how I think glitter used to pretty much always be made, was from mica.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
also made from like metal too. Like this garment that I'm wearing, you can see some of the loose threads
Oh
here.
yeah.
It's a material called Lorax, which is it's named after the brand that makes it. It's like a patented material and it's yarn with little metallic bits woven into it to make it look glittery. And as a result, when you've got little flyaways like this, they're sharp. Like they don't hurt, but they're scratchy.
Yeah. Like a steel wool like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of texture.
Weird. Oh, I didn't even realize that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Um the so like apparently even like 50,000 years ago, their cavemen used glitter in cave paintings. But it was even used as makeup, and we can talk about that a little bit later. Um,
I love
it,
the idea of a made up Neanderthal woman just like going about her gathering for the day, whatever the fuck they do. I'm so not up on my evolutionary guys lore, but I love Neanderthals. I love made up lady Neanderthal. Maybe dudes too. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know actually. It could have been both. I mean, there have been Neanderthal, and Matt actually told me about this, but I don't understand how they figured this out. But they have found Neanderthal cross dressers, like
Whoa.
skeletons of men that were dressed like women. But my question was like, how do you know what women were dressed like? I guess
Right.
you just tend to find a bunch of women and they were dressed a certain way, and then I don't know. Very confusing. But apparently there were cross dressers in
Yeah.
this time too. So
I like
who
that
knows?
idea, even though I have no idea how that, like, yeah, how would they even determine that? It's not like the men were wearing suits and ties.
That's what I'm saying. Is there gowns? Like they were wearing like leather gowns?
That's kind of tight, actually. They just dress like on the Flintstones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Um, so, you know, it's been made from stones such as malachite, mica, and as well as it was also sometimes made of insects, like ancient Egyptians crushed up beetles to use
Yeah.
their like metallic, their iridescent look in their makeup.
Yeah,
Cleopatra
proto
was big
bad
on
bitch
that.
Cleopatra. Yeah, they
Yeah,
would have
hell
been
yeah.
scarabs, I think, right? That was like their all-purpose beetle. I
Yeah.
know about scarabs because of the mummy. Remember
Ooh.
Brendan Fraser in The Mummy?
No.
Classic viewing. There's scarabs fucking everywhere. If you haven't seen The Mummy, it is a super, super fun movie. I haven't seen it in many years, but I remember that like a bunch of the plot hinges on scarab beetles, and I became obsessed with scarab beetles. And I was like 9. I would doodle them in the margins of all my shit and whatnot, and I would like tell people like, "Did you know that they're shiny?" And then wonder why I didn't have friends.
I would have totally been your friend. That sounds
Yeah,
right up my alley. That's
you would have been like,
awesome.
"I didn't know
I
that."
didn't know
Let's
that.
watch The Mummy.
Yeah. That's so cool. So modern glitter, it's usually manufactured from the combination of like aluminum and plastic. It's rarely recycled, and that's why some scientists have called for bans on plastic glitter. But let's get into like the history of it a little bit. Mica flakes, like we talked about, were used to give cave paintings a glittery appearance. So that was one of the first uses of it. Prehistoric humans are believed to have used cosmetics made of powdered hematite, which is another like sparkly stone that was just ground down. And they found these in like 2010 in Spain. Some archaeologists found little shells that contained like mixtures of this kind of powder with other things that helped them stick and use as like makeup. The way that it was stored and the texture of the mixture made it very clear that it was used as makeup, not as cave paintings, which led them to believe that Neanderthals are more intelligent than we generally thought. And the scientists are like, this archaeologist was super into this and very excited about this finding because he wanted to finally bust the myth that Neanderthals were like big dummies.
Yeah, you linked to that article on, I think, the BBC's
Yeah.
website, and this guy is just like going off. He clearly has this long time peeve where people think Neanderthals are stupid. He had
Mm-hmm.
this like ready to go. He's like, when football fans misbehave, people call them Neanderthals. They weren't just big dumb lunks. Like, dude, nobody is thinking about Neanderthals this much.
And like, I'm sorry, but your finding is not going to stop this habit of people referring to
No.
dummies as Neanderthals.
And it's
It's just
fine.
not. And it's really okay. They're not around anymore. They're not offended.
I thought it was kind of like it was interesting to me that that was their conclusion, though, like finding evidence that these people designed makeup for themselves and being like, "Oh, that's a sign of intelligence." Because I feel like, I watch a lot of Attenboroughs. I watch a lot
Hmm.
of Planet Earths, and they're always showing how animals do the same thing. Like they don't necessarily make makeup for themselves, but they'll show birds like
Yeah.
bringing their favorite toys over to ladybirds trying to mate and stuff like that. And so I'm always just like, it's kind of a common instinct across the animal kingdom to
Dress
adorn
yourself up.
yourself with an eye to impressing each other, I assume, from my
I,
Attenboroughs.
I completely agree. I had the same thought. I was like, why does that necessarily mean intelligence? I know that creativity is generally labeled as intelligence in the animal world, but I don't
Yeah.
understand. I don't understand exactly why, because exactly what you said, birds do this, and birds have very small brains.
Yeah, birds, there's a bunch of them who live under my AC over in the other room. They're just dumb as rocks. I love those guys, but not the smartest cookies, which is fine. It's okay for Neanderthals to be dumb. I want to like
No.
preemptively warn that guy that I'm on his side just in
Oh yeah.
case he listens to this podcast, which I'm sure he does.
He very well might. I mean, if he sees like the word Neanderthal, he might be. He seems very obsessed. So if
Yeah,
we put like Neanderthal in the description,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can see him being one of the types that like is constantly has like a Google search on for that, and then
Oh, he totally has a Google alert for the phrase like Neanderthals genius or something.
yes.
Oh, that guy's cool. I
Yeah,
love a
I
weird
like him.
crank.
Yeah, I like that he has a very specific thing that he really, really cares about. I also just thought it was funny that that's designated as intelligence because now, today, when us awesome, very smart women wear glitter all over our bodies and hair and outfits, we are not labeled as intelligent.
No, the
That is,
more glitter, the less intelligent you are. It's always a joke at the expense of strippers
oh yeah,
specifically.
oh
Like,
yeah.
I mean, Parks and Rec, like all those shows from that ilk of sitcoms, they always had jokes about strippers and glitter. And, you can never get it off you. It's like we're spreading
Stays with you.
disease or something. Glitter rules. You should
Glitter
be
rules.
grateful.
You're welcome for giving
Yeah.
you glitter.
Yeah, you're welcome that your girlfriend yelled at you. Like, don't lie to her about going to the strip club.
Exactly. Don't lie to her. It's so unnecessary. And yeah, it seems very much like it's labeled like a STI, you know.
Yeah, that's always the punchline. And it's not only in that kind of setting that glitter is used that way. Like you remember glitter bombing, which we'll talk about a little later.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was kind of the same vibe is if you really want to piss someone off, inflict glitter on them. And then there's the fact that glitter is like not only this object that kind of spreads and sticks to stuff, but it is a specifically feminized one. It's an
Mm-hmm.
object that women use to decorate themselves mostly. And so it becomes this like little intertwined fixation where people are like, glitter gets on you and is hard to get off. Women like glitter. QED, women are stupid. Like, no, actually, women are as smart as Neanderthals, so
Yeah,
go fuck
exactly.
yourself.
Well, in 1934, this American machinist, his name was Henry Rushman, he invented the modern type of plastic glitter that we know today. He discovered it by repurposing materials from landfills, so he was kind of a dumpster diver, and he was cutting them into small little pieces. And he realized that when he cut them up real small, it made this like glittery, sparkly substance. And there wasn't really a market for glitter at the time. People were like, why? What do we need this trash cut down for? I don't
Why
understand.
make this, Henry? Go back to your dumpster.
But Henry was like, no, there's something to this. I know there is something to this. So he started a
Imagine if this
company.
fucking guy just like comes lumbering out of the dump with a pile of glitter in both hands and he's just like, look what I made.
It's
Sure.
sparkly, guys.
Yeah, like
Don't you love it?
there's a fucking war about to happen. Like,
Yeah,
go do
no,
something else.
no. He's doing very important work, actually. He started this company. It's called Meadowbank Inventions, and it actually still exists today, and it is still the largest producer of glitter in the world. So he
He
was onto
showed us.
something. He did
Yeah.
know. And it was actually because of the war that you just brought up that glitter became so popular. World War
Mhm.
II, the candles and neon lights were banned, and even the torch on the Statue of Liberty was turned off. It was like no Christmas lights, no nothing like that. So Christmas came around, and people were like, how do we adorn our tree? How do we make things festive? And Henry Rushman was there to be like, hey, I
Just
told you.
comes right back out of the same dump. Like, you want festive? I got something festive. I got 10 bags full of glitter right here.
So when people wanted to add pizzazz to their decorations, the glitter market was born, and it became popular. And it was very quickly adopted by the queer scene, the LGBTQ scene. There was like, actually, a lot of people don't realize there were drag shows very early on. There were the first like racially inclusive, like very queer drag show was in 1939, I think was when it first, or 1940 maybe, and it was called the Jewel Box Review. And they didn't call it drag though; they called it a touring company of female impersonators, um, which
What a
just
funny thing to call. I really hope that there's like a review of queer performers that start calling themselves that again.
they should. It's great. It's a great name.
Yeah, it's a sick name. Those parties looked fun as fuck
They
too. There's a
really
few
did.
pictures
Oh
from
my
that
god.
terrible pun website that you found. Amber found an incredible source for this episode. It was, I mean, it was very helpful actually. It had a
It
lot of
was.
useful historical information. It was also a terrible website called glitterous.com.
Oh, I called it the glittoris.com.
That's not better. It's just like the entire historical timeline, which again, very
Very
helpful.
helpful.
But to get to the information, you have to like wade knee deep through a sea of dreadful glitter puns.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I should read a couple of these puns
Please,
just so
yeah,
that you
greatest
can
hits.
get the idea. Um, Okay.
I mean, there's the name itself, glitoris.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, .com .au, because on top of everything, this is an Australian website.
Yes. I need to, oh God, now I wish I had, okay, sorry. Here, let's talk about with the invention of glitter.
Glitterally, they say
They
glitterally.
say
And
glitterally,
then in
and
the
they,
same sentence, they say crafternoon.
yes, that's what I was gonna say in this, that's the line I was gonna read. Uh,
Glitterally, Henry
Henry
was the
Rushman's,
OG dumpster diver. One faithful crafternoon in quotes. They even they know that crafternoon is too far. They put it in scare quotes.
that's amazing. I
Yeah.
really liked that website.
Yeah.
Shout out to Glitterous for giving us all this amazing information. You have to
Yeah, thank you for the useful information. I'm sorry that I hated your puns so much. It's not you, it's me. Rax
No,
hates puns.
I love puns, and this site was even too many puns for me.
Yeah, Amber even warned me, which like Amber loves puns and loves to use them to pester me with. So if
Yeah,
she's warning me that there's too many puns, you like I really have to steel myself hard. Anyway, sorry.
yeah. No, it's okay.
Moving back on.
In the 1970s, there was glam rock. So so glitter took a similar path that a lot of these types of things take, from the queer scene to the glam rock scene to like general popular, sort of like fishnets that we've talked about before.
Mm.
Oh, to the punk scene, like then it goes back around again. Um, so
And
in
kind
the
of
70s,
trashy the whole time, right? I mean, you got to figure anytime the queer community is the first to really embrace something, that thing spends a lot of time seeming trashy and low rent
hmm,
to friendly heterosexuals.
honestly, good.
Yeah,
Stay out
don't
of our
touch my
stuff.
glitter.
Yeah, it's not for you. It's fine.
No.
Um, Glam rock loved it. I mean, think about like David Bowie. Everybody, anyone who wanted to be super. Oh my goodness, what's the word that I'm looking for? I
Like
think
ostentatious, like showy.
yeah, maximalist. It was
Yeah,
used in glitterous too.
maximalist.
Maximalist. So it's the opposite of minimalist. You want to like show
Right.
off as much as possible, just bring as many eyes to you as possible, just really
Yeah.
stand out.
I
And
mean, imagine Bowie without glitter. Like
oh, you
that's
can't.
imagine Elton John without glitter, like
That's just a
ABBA without
guy.
glitter. Yeah,
That's
ABBA without glitter is just four regular looking people in normal
no.
jumpsuits.
Ugh, no. I don't want to even think about it. Some of the
Mm-mm.
jumpsuits that David Bowie wore, amazing. And we should have talked more about him in our jumpsuit episode because there
Wow,
is
yeah. And
just.
Elvis too. I feel like I
We
mean
briefly
El
mentioned Elvis, but like
we
not,
did.
yeah,
I feel
not
like
enough.
jumpsuits and glitter are like the one-two punch that prevented Elvis's end of career from being totally humiliating. Like without those two things, he's just a guy on a downswing,
That's exactly right. Yeah.
eating his peanut butter and banana sandwiches
Oh
and
no.
dying on the toilet. But if you do that like with a supply of glitter and jumpsuits, then dying on the toilet becomes in fact very glam.
I just heard what you said, eating peanut butter and banana sandwiches and dying on the toilet. I heard it to the tune of drink malt whiskey and die. Yeah.
Oh man, I hope that someday my method of demise leads people to sing a little song to that tune about it.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Mm,
Me too.
yeah.
I personally would like to die as like an adult, like a full, like a little, like middle-aged woman at a water park, like outside of a big town. I would like to die on like a real, like untrustworthy slide.
I feel like most people like when they die at a water park, it's a problem for them. Like they did not go to that water park wanting to die. You're just gonna walk in like a true gladiator.
I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Yeah, no, I just think it would be a fun way to go. And
Yeah, at
yeah,
least you get
water
to
slides are
ride some
great.
rides.
Exactly. And it's a real show.
Yeah, that's true. You like bring your little last will and testament and
Hmm.
some coins to stick in your eyes for the I don't know, it's like a real
Yeah.
hodgepodge of death traditions here. But I
And
just
you,
figure bring all that stuff and put on a show for the good people at the water park who did not come to see you die.
no, they're gonna end. They're gonna leave with a story. They're not.
Yeah.
It's not like dying, like on public transportation where you're really interrupting people's day. Like people at a water park don't really have anywhere to be. They're just gonna be excited for this adventure.
That's so considerate that you prefer the water park because everyone's already at leisure. So if they see someone die, it's not gonna like get in the way of them getting home after work or whatever.
Exactly. That's These
That's
are
a
the things
beautiful
I think
sentiment.
about. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I hadn't
recently
thought
realized
about it
this.
that much, but now I'm like, I could die at a water park. Shit, that's the way to be. On like a log ride or the
Oh yeah.
slide.
Yeah, on the slide. I mean, you can't really die in the lazy river. Like,
No, I mean, take like a Blaze of Glory cocktail and just kind of let yourself
yeah.
sink on down. But I feel
I,
like that, it's mostly little kids in the lazy river. That's
mhm.
not that fun for them.
Yeah, that's not very fun for them. Also, like the other way that people die in water parks is in the wave machine ride,
Oh,
getting
yeah.
drowned in that. Water parks are super dangerous.
Yeah, wow. It's just hazards around every corner.
Hmm. And it totally makes sense that I'm talking about this in the glitter episode.
We're gonna do an episode on water parks though. I'm actually writing this
We
down
should.
right now. I have a little notes app note with episode ideas.
We should definitely talk about water parks. I would be stoked to talk about them. I also just want to go to a water park soon. Not to die,
Yeah.
but just,
Well,
to
now
go.
anytime you like want to go to the water park, I'm gonna suspect that you're taking me to watch you die or something. Like I'm the witness to your
You can
demise.
only worry about it if I'm taking you to like a small newer water park outside of a big city. Like
Okay.
you know,
So like King's Dominion, probably safe. Six
yeah,
Flags, probably safe.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, those are
This is
fine.
good to know.
Okay. Then like in the 90s and 2000s, there was the club scene. That's when club scene became really took on glitter. The original influencers, they loved body glitter,
I
right?
gotta say, looking at those pictures of like the one of those guys was the party monster guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Michael something. They do not look good, these people.
Mm-mm.
They do not look well. They are not the right color that a human person is supposed to be. They're very
Nope.
glittery, but in a way that's like
Sick.
that don't look right. Yeah, you're ailing.
Sickly. Yeah, it's not good. And I think that's sort of on purpose. They're like, well, we're just gonna keep on party rocking and then just put on glitter when we really should put on sleep.
Yeah, sleep and maybe remove makeup before going to bed once in a while because
No.
that's showing all over everyone's face. It like I don't know, it doesn't look that fun. I guess pictures of people partying really never look fun the way I'm sure it is in the moment. It's just like you guys need to go to bed.
Eat some vegetables.
Eat a vegetable, have a vitamin, an
Yeah.
antioxidant once in a while.
Hmm. No, I don't take makeup off ever. I just layer it on top of
I used
just
to do that in
overlay.
high school. Because like that was kind of my look was the smudged
Smoky.
eyeliner thing, and I was like, well, I could make it look this way, or I could actually just smudge my eyeliner by sleeping in it and then just reapplying more. Looked dreadful, but again, I thought it looked great.
I mean, honestly, if you're gonna go for that look, that is an excellent life hack that you figured out.
Yeah, it's the most straightforward. Like, don't spend 20 minutes giving yourself a smoky eye. Just sleep in your makeup. Take the chance that you're gonna look 75 when you're 25, and is what's the saying? I don't know. It's something about how you win big. Like
Oh, no risk, no reward.
that. Yeah, that was
Something like
how
that.
you win big.
I don't know how I got that out of how you win big, but
No, you're completely right though.
cool. Uh, so there's some like weird ways that glitter is used when I was researching this that I found and I didn't know. There's okay, apparently some animal researchers put glitter in animal feed in order to study the feces of those animals. And it's a
Yeah.
really helpful way, like non-invasive way to look at animals, see if they're, um, in heat, see if they're pregnant, see if there's anything wrong with their digestive tract. It's very cool and it probably makes the poop a little bit easier to look at.
Yeah, poop is not so nice to look at is the other thing about that. I feel like
Mm,
you make it festive,
yeah.
have a good time with it.
Apparently they like freeze the poop too, so then they study it after it's frozen, and that makes it not smell so bad. And then the glitter makes it not look so bad. So there you go.
I really love whoever came up with this idea, who was like, all right, we got to study these animal turds. We have to study all of them. Let's feed the animals glitter such that we can more easily study the turds. It's smart. It's also very insane what they
It's
did.
such a weird idea. And they don't
Yeah,
always they don't always use glitter. Sometimes they use like little pellets, like little plastic pellets, which same thing. I think probably that probably came first, and then whoever saw that was like, oh, microplastics. You know what's a microplastic? Glitter. We could
yeah,
put glitter in the poop. No, not in the poop, in the feed.
yeah. In the animal.
In the
The
animal.
animal will put the glitter in the poop.
And then sometimes they also like take like food coloring and put it into fruit or fish or something that they're feeding the animal, and then that does the same work. But glitter would definitely be my choice.
I feel like, I mean, I guess there is edible glitter out there, but my first concern is wouldn't that shit just tear up an animal's insides? I mean, if it's made of mica or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure exactly about that. I was curious, but I couldn't find anything on whether the glitter was what we consider edible or not.
I'm choosing to
So
believe that it is. I don't like to think about people just wrecking a cute little animal's digestive tract just to take its poop away from it and observe it. That's all so invasive.
I mean, these are like all zoos that are doing this research, and they're generally trying to keep the animals as healthy as possible. So my guess would be that it is edible glitter. I tried to call it edible sugar. All sugar
Oh.
is edible if you try hard enough.
Yeah, I should say so. Sugar is unfortunately very edible.
Yeah, it's true. There's, paint. We talked about furniture, cars, toasters. There's like a lot of things, products in your house that are glittery that you don't really think about that glitter is in. There's also like, I'm trying to pull up one of the other things that I was gonna talk about. Can't find it. Okay, I wrote down a thing that glitter is used for, and now I can't remember how it's used for that thing, so I'm
What
just
is
gonna
it?
say it.
Yeah. Let's get
Forensic
a good old
science.
fashioned Courtney fact in here where it may or may not be.
Glitter is used in forensic science? Is it?
Like determining where the killer is and stuff like that.
Yes, I did
Well, that kind
not.
of makes sense. Like, I guess if you're pulling fingerprints,
Oh, yeah, that must be what it is. That makes sense. Yeah,
like if
I'm
you
sure.
spread a bunch of glitter in a crime scene, maybe. I mean,
Hmm.
again, we are just talking out of our asses right now, but if you spread a bunch of glitter in a crime scene and there is something hinky, like a blood splatter that got poorly cleaned up or fingerprints on something, I feel like the glitter would find it.
Yeah, I think it sticks to most moistures, and it's very tiny, like dust, and so it would stand out a little bit more. It's police often, yeah, okay. This is a true thing. This it really is used in forensic science. Um, and my God, there's a transcript. This is why I didn't look further into this and write more
I
about
fucking
it.
hate a transcript. I'm always
Yeah.
control Fing those things, like keyword.
Yeah.
Don't make me read a bunch of stuff. Just find my glitter.
um, we're gonna say it's the way that we said it. But
I
then
think it is.
there was one other thing that you actually sent me right before we started recording of something that glitter is used for. It's something called a capsule. A glitter capsule? What is that?
Yeah, it's got a brand name. My Clitter with a C. My
Okay.
Clitter TM capsules. You can buy it in a 3-pack, so because using a clitter capsule just once is not going to satisfy that urge to have a pussy full of glitter, which is what it allows you to do. I'm going to read from this website because I don't want to make up my own words for this demonic thing, as I am not a Prince of Lies figure. My clitter is the perfect way to add that sparkle to playtime. Sidebar, don't call sex playtime. I fucking hate it when sex nerds call sex playtime. Just call it sex. We're all
what is
grown ups here.
what is this, Brave New World? No, thank you.
Insert the capsule into the vagina up to 2 hours before the fun time begins. The capsule will dissolve, releasing a sparkly mixture of glitter and lube, adding a magical element to your sex life. If Tinkerbell uses lube, this is it. Ew.
Ew. First of all, stop it. No, no. Don't
Just stop all of
don't
that.
put
None of that.
Tinkerbell porn in my head. I don't like it. Get
Yeah,
it out of there.
I'm
That's
not a
rude.
prevert. I don't like to think about Tinkerbell from Disney's Peter Pan having a glitter vagina. Like, as far as I'm concerned, there it's just smooth
Smooth.
over like a Barbie
Mm-hmm.
for Tinkerbell. Also, why any of this? It actually, if you have used this product or want to use this product, and I might actually do it for Mel Magazine now that I'm thinking about it, but please tell me why. No judgment, truly, but I do want to know why.
Okay, I think it would be fun if you didn't tell the guy.
He's gonna think I'm
and
dying. He's gonna
his
think he's
and his
dying.
penis just comes out sparkly.
Yeah. This
That
is just
I'm
fun
kind
new
of into
ways
a
to torment
surprise.
Sean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows that the one thing most people's sex lives is lacking is an
Surprise.
element of horrific surprise, just body horror. People are always having sex without the body horror. I can't co-sign that. I think you need to do at least one scarring thing to your sex partner per
Oh
sex.
no. No. I have in the past thought about what it would be like. Never.
Well, I need to know what this is now. What would be like?
Okay, I would not do this. I understand it would be scarring, but if you were having sex with someone who was blindfolded, right? And then
Okay.
they took off the blindfold and you were like wearing a clown mask.
Oh, that's just mean. I do think that people really wildly overstate the clown phobia thing. I don't think nearly as many people are afraid of clowns as like to joke about it, but that's how you make someone afraid of clowns. For
There is
sure.
there's not only are people not always afraid of clowns, but there is, and this is uh, I don't ask me how I found this out, but there is
Okay.
clown porn.
Oh,
It does
eh,
exist. I mean, rule 34 of the internet is that
yeah.
if you can think
That's
of
a
it,
pretty basic one, but I just never thought about it, and now my day is just a little bit worse.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm
I bet they
sorry.
use glitter. Oh, that's who the glitter lube is for. Clown
It's
pornographers.
yes. Oh my god. And then you also like keep a bunch of scarves up there and pull them out.
Got like the flower that squirts water, but it's lube.
That's actually very nice.
This is
That'd be
all very clever.
fun.
We could easily be clown pornographers.
Easily. No problem.
Actual clown pornographers are listening to this, like, oh, they think it's that easy. No, I'm sorry.
It's
No
not. You're
disrespect
right.
to your trade,
No, it's definitely hard. All work is work.
including clown pornography.
Clown pornography, sex work is work. Um, so yeah, those are the fun uses of glitter that we found. There's also, as we talked about at the beginning, glitter is not very sustainable. It's typically made of microplastics because during the war there was a shortage on glass and also like lights were not available. So they typically made them out of tiny bits of plastic, and that's not really good for our oceans and for our fishes and for the large like gyre of plastic in the Pacific.
Dire.
Gyre?
Yeah, that thing freaks me out, man. That's a horrible thing that we made.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about it a lot recently after like seeing tons of masks on the ground as I walk around, and I'm like, oh God, now there's this whole new thing that we now rely on that is going to go straight into that gyre.
You know what I would what other one came up recently? This is another sidebar, I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking about the garbage patch now.
Hmm.
Is you know how like highfalutin magazines and whatnot, like anything cutesy and intellectual, they always want to send you a tote bag. And so
Yeah.
now everyone has a million tote bags and they're starting to get discarded. And now that's like a fun new element to the fucking garbage patch is all these hipster tote bags that
Oh
just
God, that we're supposed to
clogging up
eliminate
everything.
plastic to begin with.
It's so ironic and horrible. And like the grocery stores up here, because we banned plastic bags, they have the disposable ones that aren't supposed to be disposable, but they're thin and shitty, and so everyone's
Oh,
disposing of them anyway. It's such a clusterfuck.
oh my
Tote
God,
bags are the next horrible thing.
great, love it. Well, there was like about the same time as scientists said, we should stop using glitter. Right before that was when they got rid of all the like the micro beads that were in like face wash that were used as exfoliants. Um,
Horrible face washes use those, yeah.
Horrible, very bad. That like fucking apricot nonsense.
St. Ives, down
Ugh.
with fucking St. Ives, yeah.
Plus, it's not good. It's like there's sugar in there or something. It's not. It does
Yeah.
not feel like it cleans my skin when
It's just a
I.
combination of all the things you should never rub on your face, like in
Mhm.
a single face wash. I don't know why that was ever so popular. I mean, it does, like, when you use it, it feels like you're really doing something to your
Mhm.
skin. Most skincare is so subtle,
Yeah.
and you can feel something happening, and you assume it's like, oh, it's working. No, it's just horrible. It's just horrible for your face.
Pain does not mean it's working.
Right.
That's weird that you think that. Maybe it's because someone told you to pinch your cheeks.
Instead of wearing the $5 blush from the drugstore, yeah.
But biodegradable glitter has been made. There are like glitters that are made out of plant-based material that are biodegradable. But there's also, you know, green glitter washing. I added the glitter in there.
Green glitter washing. I mean, people are
Green
going to know exactly what you mean, though. Yeah.
green washing, but green glitter washing.
Yeah.
There are companies that label their glitter biodegradable, but they're not biodegradable in the traditional sense. They need like industrial composting in order to break down, and they're not going to naturally biodegrade if they enter the environment. So you can't just like throw it on the ground. It needs to like go to a industrial factory to break it down, which is just not part of our trash
Yeah.
system.
Can't
Um,
even get it together to do that with recycling
no,
properly, and we've had that for like 30 years. It's not going to happen.
our trash system is truly a trash system. So it's just not going
Yeah.
to work. Some scientists say that we should just avoid glitter completely. And I just don't think that's an option.
I'm
Okay.
not ready to do that. I feel like just go back to making it out of the expensive, difficult stuff if you're going to make it at all, right? It's supposed to be
Yeah.
special.
Yeah. And like it's just for one, it's clearly in our nature. Like we're gonna want glittery shit. We've been wanting it since cavemen times. And it's also in everything. It's in more things than we can possibly think about. I mean, you,
Right.
before listening to this episode, did not know that animal researchers are using glitter to look at animal poop. So think about all the different little uses that we have that you're not really generally thinking about on a day to day basis. Third,
Right.
it's individual responsibility bullshit. Individual responsibility bullshit. And I just think we should be able to buy glitter that's labeled as like quote unquote eco friendly and not have to like research the company and do like an intense deep dive in order to find out if it really truly is eco friendly. Because, like,
Right. It's just one more fucking thing where like we're supposed to do all that research on our own to really just to buy added value in the form of being supposedly biodegradable, even though it, as you said, takes this whole process that's never going to happen to actually be biodegradable. It's like it really serves to make us feel better at the cash register. Like, oh, we're
Mm-hmm.
buying the glitter that's safe for the environment. That's it doesn't work that way with hard, it's the same with the fucking tote bags. Like your tote bag
Yeah.
is safe for the environment till you throw it away.
Is like truly biodegradable glitter. There's like this company called Bio Glitter. They do make like plant-based glitter that is truly naturally biodegradable. So that's cool. They're in the U.S. They sell it under a name that I wish I had written down. Too many things to write down. I will look it up and write it down and put it in the notes. But yeah, there is biodegradable glitter, bio glitter. If you Google where that is, you can find that brand, and it's 100% biodegradable. But most stuff out there is not truly biodegradable. Um, there is also, though, people, since microplastics are so bad for the environment, people started going back to mica as a way to get that glittery substance. And
Which is biodegradable, right? I mean, it
yeah, it is. Yeah.
comes from the bio, so
Yeah, I mean, it is biodegradable. It's still like not great if it gets into freshwater systems because just it's like combining ecosystems, right? It's like
right, right.
putting things in those like freshwater like lakes and rivers that weren't originally in those lakes and rivers, and
Right.
sometimes fish again like eat it and react the same way similarly to it than as they would microplastics. So really
Yeah, but the
like
problem there isn't the existence of the glitter. It's us being fucking lazy as usual and
yeah,
not
again
disposing of things properly.
again, yeah. I mean, and then the other problem with mica powder is the mines are often just really horrible work environments. A lot of times, child labor is involved, just really irresponsibly made and sourced. And that's because it's cheaper to take advantage of child labor and just not treat workers correctly. But in my mind, just make it responsibly, pay people accordingly, give them like masks and the right gear because a lot of times if like mica powder gets in your lungs,
Yeah,
it can be a real problem.
yeah.
Um, and then make glitter more expensive,
Right.
and
Things
that's
generally need
fine.
to be more expensive than they are. I mean, I know that we all have a knee-jerk dislike of that idea because none of us are making enough money, but it's also just straight up unnatural for like food and clothes and cosmetics and decorative shit to be as cheap as they are or as widely available as they are. It's all supposed to be like you buy a coat, it lasts you for a lifetime, is
Yeah.
what it used to be like.
Yeah. And so yeah, we think we like are like resistant to the idea of things being more expensive, but if they were more expensive, they would last you longer, they would be made more quality. And also think about it, if you're involved in the making of those products, you get paid more, so you can afford more quality goods.
Right.
It'd be better all around. But yeah, the other place that like I did want to talk about, the last thing about glitter is edible glitter is the new hot shit. If you're on TikTok at all, you know this.
Yeah.
I found this thing called cereal glitter when I was researching this.
Doesn't look good.
No.
I've never looked at a bowl of my cereal and thought, wow, I wish this more closely resembled a disco ball.
Yeah. Um,
Doesn't look good.
I wouldn't do it. Doesn't sound good to
Mm-mm.
me. I'm not a cereal milk type of gal, though. You know, some people like at the end of their cereal, like really
Drink the
enjoy
milk.
drinking the milk. I
Yeah.
pour in just enough that it just like wets the cereal, and it should be basically gone by the time I get to the end of the bowl. Um, so this does not appeal to me at all. But drink glitter does appeal to me. Like
Yeah,
making
like
glittery cocktails.
Goldschlager.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh
ever
yeah.
drink the gold vodka? That was
No.
that was a hit back in the back when I was in high school. Yeah, it was vodka with little gold glitter flakes in it.
Is that you mean Goldschlager or do you mean
Yeah.
another? Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I definitely
Goldschlager,
drank
yeah.
Goldschlager. That was my favorite drink
Yeah.
in college. Yeah, of
That was how
course.
you showed you were a fancy girl when you were like 15, 16 by drinking the Goldschlager.
Oh yeah, definitely drink Goldschlager. Now there's a new one called Fireball. Doesn't have the gold flakes, but the similar taste of like cinnamony
I
vodka.
fucking hate Fireball.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't with fire. It just tastes like a, oh, what are those cinnamon candies?
or hot tamales or Big Red or
Big
no.
Big Red, I
It
think,
tastes
is what
like
I'm
Big
thinking
Red to
of.
me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nasty.
Yeah. And then I was just wondering like how long is it going to be until we see glitter in drugs? Like who's
Yeah, we were
adding
talking about this. This is how you make your Coke boogers cute, I think. It's like the worst part of Coke use for a lot of people is the shame around the little dangly Coke boogers, but they could be glamorous.
Yeah. Like when are we going to see the Euphoria kids with like little dangling Coke boogers that are glittery? Then that's a look.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or like if you're shooting something up, then maybe it would be fun for it to be glittery. And then you're like, I'm poisoning my veins with something stylish, right? I mean,
yeah. It's
upside.
you go from the inside out. If your insides shimmer, then your outside will shimmer, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're really onto something. I think we should go into business together, like inventing something that's just drugs, but we pour a bunch of glitter glue in it.
I love this idea.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually a viable business idea because Instagram recently advertised ketamine to me. So
They've been doing
apparently,
that with me too.
apparently drugs are just sold on the internet now. Like it's like it says it's like therapy. It's like therapeutic ketamine.
Yeah,
Um,
it's I mean, I actually have known people who have done ketamine therapy who say that it's a game changer for them and I'm happy for them. I don't care for ketamine though,
oh yeah.
myself. Not
Uh,
I don't like anything dissociative, really.
mhm. Mhm. It's I do. I do, but
Well,
I
it's
also
different
can't, like we've
strokes.
talked about, can't really do anything up my nose because
Yeah, it's got to keep the snout in good working order.
yeah, just doesn't agree with me. It's fine. I'm trying less trying to see more uh, life highs these days. I don't know.
Yeah, get some of that
Um,
glitter cereal milk and
exactly. Boom.
that's a high right there.
That is a high. That yeah. I just want to see things sparkle. And things seem brighter and more sparkly when I'm sober, so that's cool.
That's the
Um,
annoying thing. Is like you
it
think you're
really
having
is.
so much fun when you're high, and then the next day you're like, oh, that was kind of fake fun.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel anything. It's
Well,
not
I
the
think it's like
same.
anything else. It's like in moderation. You know, you
Sure,
wouldn't
yeah.
know what it feels like if you don't know what like your grounded self feels like.
Oh yeah, I'm pro
Yeah.
drugs. I just, I've had that experience so many
Yeah.
times where I think I'm having a blast, and then the next day it just stops feeling real to me.
Oh yeah, I absolutely feel that. Yeah. I felt that many times.
Yeah.
Um, do you have anything that you want to gripe about this episode?
Rhyme Yes. Yes,
Nice.
I do.
Let's go.
I'm taking a Yiddish class again, which
Ooh.
is really really fun. I'm really glad I'm doing it. It's like me and a bunch of 60-year-old Jewish people. It's awesome.
Hell yeah, that sounds great.
And it meets once a week, so I do Yiddish Duolingo in the interim time just to stay sharp because I'm one of very few people in the class who didn't know the Yiddish alphabet when I started. I needed to catch up fast.
Uh-huh.
So Duolingo's good for that. But what's annoying is that Duolingo pronounces certain things differently than my Yiddish teacher does. It's like
Hmm.
whoever they got to do the recordings for Duolingo is from a different
Different region.
Hasidic sect
Uh-huh.
than my teacher is. And so I keep having to like forget the Duolingo pronunciations of words before my Tuesday class. And we were talking about drugs. My brain's not so springy anymore. I'm not so good at remembering stuff anymore. So it's just a huge pain in the ass to remember what sounds certain letters are supposed to make for my
Yeah.
purposes.
Oh yeah, that's super annoying. I mean, it's like I've done Duolingo Spanish, and I remember when I first recorded it, it was like like Spanish
Yeah,
from Spain.
yeah, yeah.
And then what like is most useful to me is not like Spaniard Spanish. It'd be more
Yeah, you're
like
not in Spain. You're not close to Spain.
more Mexican, like
Yeah.
not cotillion. Yeah, not. I said cotillion. That's not right.
Catalan?
Cattle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and relearning the different pronunciations. Actually, when I first moved out of Brazil, before I moved back to the US, I went to Argentina for a month and I had spoke Portuguese in Brazil. But then in Argentina, obviously, they speak Spanish.
Right.
And very similar, but very different.
Yeah.
Um, and I had to, I feel like I unlearned all my Spanish and all my Portuguese at the same time. Instead of like
Right.
gaining a second language, I just
Right. You just
like,
confuse yourself.
yeah. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know which one's uno and which one's umo. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Uh,
I've caught myself subbing in words from other languages that I know a little bit of. Like when a word is not coming to me in Yiddish, I just sub in the Spanish word for the same thing or the Russian word.
mhm.
Not a great thing to do. Not gonna get me anywhere, I don't think.
Yeah. Well graped.
Thank
I
you. Thank
yeah,
you.
I like that grape. It makes me want to do my Duolingo again, but I feel like I gave it up because Duolingo kept on giving me like passive aggressive messages, and then I
Yeah.
got defiant, and I was like, "Well, fuck you then. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
they
do it."
harass you. I've been like ever since I started doing it, I've been on a streak every day. So they don't really harass me, but I know that the day they start is the day I just stop doing it. I don't like to be harassed by an app. I don't like a
No,
notification. The fuck I want a notification for?
no, you can't tell me what to do. App.
Yeah, you're just a little guy in the computer. You're just a fucking animated owl.
Yeah, exactly. And you're green.
Yeah, but
Who's ever
that's
heard of
not
a
the
green
color
animated
owls are.
owl?
You're so fake. You little bastard. Don't tell me how to live my life.
Can't tell me nothing. Freaking
Yeah.
green owl.
Little green bitch. Fuck out of my phone. I control you. I could delete you at any moment.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You have the control. Well, I don't have a gripe today. I
Good.
gave up my gripe at the beginning with being stuck in my dress, but it's all
That's
good.
I mean, that's still a solid gripe. That's still a very reasonable complaint. We've all
Yeah.
gotten stuck in clothes and it's terrifying every time.
Oh my
Worse though when
God.
it's at the store.
Oh my
Much
God.
scarier there.
Terrifying. Oh, so terrifying. I'm so glad that didn't happen in the dressing room at the thrift store.
Yeah.
I would have freaked out. I hate it when you're like, you can put on a dress at the thrift store, but then you
Yeah.
can't take it
You
off.
gotta
Like
do
you put it like
the
when it's over
Houdini
your
shit.
shoulders thing, you have to like
Yeah.
you have to unhinge one shoulder or something and then put
Once
it
you hear
back
that horrible little like
and you're like,
of
"Oh
a
no.
thread ripping,
Oh no."
just no scarier sound.
I know
Bad
I
in a thrift store,
damaged.
but much worse in like a retail store where shit's
Oh,
expensive. Like I
yeah.
can't break this garment. I can't afford to.
Yeah,
I'm
there
just
have been
trying it on for
times
fun.
where I've heard that sound and then I'm like, please just hold together, hold together. I know that I've definitely torn something, but let it
Right.
be able to be hung back up on the
Yeah.
on the hanger because I'm not.
Just don't snitch on me that I could not quite fit in this dress. Just hold it together on the way out of this dressing room, and I'm gonna walk out of here in disgrace, and that's all
Very,
fine.
yeah, exactly right. Okay.
Anyway,
Well, that was Local Boil for today. We hope that you enjoyed it. It was very fun talking to you about glitter in our sparkly outfits.
it
And
was, yeah.
let us know if you do use a glitter capsule. Please let us know about that.
We will
Uh,
not be held responsible for anything that happens to the pH balance of your vagina if you
oh,
use glitter capsules.
to be clear, I am not suggesting. I'm just saying if you already did, if this is something that's like your vibe already, please explain. Again, no judgment, but like a little bit of judgment.
Some.
Please explain.
So, yeah. Help us get rid of our instinct to judge this terrible thing that I found.
I do like the idea of a surprise glittery dick. That sounds fun.
I'm gonna do that to Sean. I feel like it'd be really fun to write about this stuff for Mel, and if I do,
Yes,
I'm
I think
gonna.
that would be
I want a reaction. I want
Yeah.
that, like, kind of deal.
that wow moment, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, a little pizzazz, a little sparkle, literally.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Love you.
Bye.